Hey guys, just going to do the short unboxing on a product that I got recently. Lately, I've made the jump to 4K and I realized that my webcam is really out of date, so I figured I would finally replace it. Now, the difference with this one is that I'm going to be comparing it to a much older model that I've got, the C525, instead of the C920 and the other 900 series that the rest have been comparing them with. So we'll see how that looks. But anyway, so we got the box here. There was only one place in New Zealand I could think of that had it for under 300. But you probably already got a... Well, you should already know what it is, judging by the description. It's been a while since I've done an unboxing on here, actually. See what variation of... Oh, okay, yeah, it looks like I've got the cardboard one. But... Oh, sorry. But you can likely already see what that is. Yep. The Logitech BRIO 4K webcam. So we've got a few at the front here. Hopefully the lighting is alright. Having to rely on the sun here. So got the side, the back. So yeah, it's compatible with, see if I can focus on here. Mac, Windows 10, Windows 8, and Windows Hello. And was that certified for Skype? Yeah, and more information here. Now, like you've already seen this from all the other unboxings on YouTube, so there's likely not going to be anything different here. And yeah, there's the webcam itself. Let's pull this out. Yeah, it's a pretty big webcam actually compared to what I've been using. And you got USB Type-C here. And this, I don't know which bit comes out here. Give me a second here. Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah, and then you can adjust it this way here. But I still wonder how it's going to look on my monitor. It's a bit different with... I'm not even sure if I'll be able to get a slight angle down, but just have to see how it goes. And the rest of the stuff in here, we'll try and pull out. Okay, over here we've got the USB Type-C to USB 3 cable. But you do need USB 3 to get 4K video out of this. Over here we've got the privacy shutter, which goes over the lens. So if you're a bit... if you don't want anyone looking at your spine into your webcam, that's a good thing to have. And lastly is a pouch, which I don't think I'll be using, but it's a nice addition to have. Yeah, just says, if I can get it in the light here. Yeah, just says Logitech on there, nothing special. And what else is in here? Just looks like instructions. Nothing special. So yeah, got to get this set up, and I'll do a comparison with my current old mic, the C525. And maybe if I can get it into the shot, I might compare it with my Canon 60D DSLR as well, just to show the difference in the quality. So yeah, see you back in a few minutes. One other thing I've got to mention here is that this here can actually be taken off, and if you just wiggle it, oh, sorry. You've actually got a tripod mount here too, which is very handy if you're going to be using it in... Anyway, like, I've got a tripod myself, so I'll probably be using it myself from time to time. But yeah, just thought I'd point that out. So the first webcam I've got here is my old one, the Logitech C525. I should remember the name there. But the audio that you're hearing right now is coming from my Blue Yeti Pro mic, not the webcam itself. So don't think of this as a quality comparison between the audio of the mics. I probably will show it after, but I'll have to see how the setup goes, because it's a bit of a new setup here for me. But you can see here, the maximum resolution of this webcam is pretty much 720p, and I've actually got two external lights on right now to help with the lighting, because it's not so great itself when it comes to the internal lighting and how it handles it. See, at the moment, it does seem to be about 30 frames a second, which is what I'm wanting. But yeah, if I didn't have the lights, it would have been hard to accomplish with just the way that this room is lit. But you can see here, this is roughly about, I forgot the name of it, 65 degrees? I think that's the angle of it. But you can see, as far as like how the tones are and everything, it does look a little bit washed out, and I think it looks a little blue in my opinion, actually, after looking at it. And it doesn't look so dark when it comes to like these areas as well, but it seems to be a little bit over there. But anyway, in a second, I'm going to be moving to the Logitech BRIO up there and seeing what the difference is like. So, and now we're on the Logitech BRIO, but you can see there's just so much more room compared to what there is on my old mic up there. But that's thanks to the increased field of view in here, because as I said before, the C525 is only 65 degrees and this can go all the way up to 90, so you could pretty much see this whole small room. Yes, this room is small, but had to compensate with what there is in it. I think with the settings there is on the BRIO already, it should be 30 frames a second. So at the moment I've got it set to 4K at 30, which is the most it can do. But I will actually show what 1080p at 60 frames a second and 720p at, well, the 720p is not really going to help much because it's 90 frames a second, but you can't do that on YouTube, sadly. But I'll still show, as far as 720p goes, I'll show how much of a difference it is. So as I said, we're on 4K at 30 frames a second, and I'll move to 1080p. Alright, now we're on 1080p at 60, so hopefully it should be more smooth here, but as I said, it may just be the way that it's set up here. I'm going to have to see how it is in post. The quality, well, I'll have to also see how 1080p is in comparison to 4K. Obviously there will be a difference, but as well as how much of a difference there's going to be, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. And then we'll move on to 720p. And now we're on 720p at 90. So again, just showing the frame rate difference here. But as I said, since it's 90 frames and YouTube can't support that, that's not really going to help, unfortunately. And now I'll go into comparing the audio. So what you're hearing at the moment is, as I said, it's coming through my Yeti Pro here, so it's obviously going to sound really good. But if I switch in a second here, this is what the mic sounds like on the Logitech BRIO. It's not that good, to be honest. I mean, I was expecting something a bit more high up compared to the C525, which I would compare here, but it's honestly not that much different. So it wouldn't really matter if I put it in here or not. This is just to show like how much of a difference there is between what you pretty much can expect from a webcam mic to what you expect from an actual studio mic. And I'll switch to a second here. And now we're back on the Yeti Pro. One more thing I forgot to mention is that for this you will need to download additional drivers and programs, which you can find on the Logitech site. So we've got the background replacement here, general install, and the camera settings here, which will allow you to control more of the settings of the camera as well. So I've already got that installed, and I'll bring this up. Well, derp, it couldn't even handle it. I was trying to record at 4K 60 frames on OBS, and it didn't seem to handle it. Well, rip. But so here is the camera settings program, so you can actually see a preview of what you're looking at here. And down here you've got image, standard, and widescreen. So at the moment it's on widescreen. So I'm not sure if this actually means the aspect ratio or just the amount it is shown in it. But if I click on standard here, it's going to freeze for a second. You can see it's more zoomed in here, but as I said, I have no idea if that actually refers to the aspect ratio or not. So I'll bring it back to a widescreen. So HDR, it's I thought with HDR on, it would have actually made the dynamic range more different, but no, it appears to do the opposite. I was a bit surprised by that. Background replacement, which I'm not sure what that is. Oh, okay, no, it's just a reminder. And got the flicker here for what refresh rate you're going towards, but really, why even bother with a power setting nowadays? I don't know why. I mean, especially it's pretty much in the age of HD. It's pretty much irrelevant. And so we got the field of views here. So I think this here is closer to what my C525 was. And this here is what the C920 had. And now we got this. I'm actually glad I did not upgrade to the C920 now, because I was tempted about a year or two back, but now I'm glad I didn't. So the next option here is advanced, so you can pretty much do whatever here, and oh no, here we go. So yep, really bright, really dark, and contrast here, yep, going, whoa, that's weird. To 50, as well as the autofocus. I don't know if I'll be touching this one that much. Like, I don't know how the actual focus is, like, as well as it adjusts. I've seen on other videos, it looks good on their side, but it's not something I really touch that much. So you got color intensity here, which is something I will not be touching, unless I absolutely have to. Unless I want the whole thing black and white. Now, sorry about that. 50 and auto white balance. Whoa, that's looking a little blue. Yeah. I don't know how often I'll be touching this one. Well, I do like to tweak white balance when it comes to shooting video as well, but as far as a webcam goes, it's probably best to just leave it auto, unless there's something really drastic that's changing it. And the new feature here, well, it's sort of new. It wasn't actually introduced with the BRIO. I think it was the 922 or 923. I don't know, I haven't been keeping up with the 900 series, but it introduced a new feature called background replacement, which I think it detects like what is the background and what is the person and subject, but it doesn't do a fully good job from what I've seen. So let's have a look at this. Like, even with the lighting I have, it shouldn't be too perfect. And okay, here we go. Yeah, you can see here part of the background is still going. Can't keep up. Yeah. So let's go to next one. If I want to be in a subject like this, I guess. Let's go to casual. Well, that was weird. Program just crashed for whatever reason. So moving on. So next we've got casual. If you ever felt like you needed that, don't know why. Alright, my computer does not seem to like this all at the same time, so I'm just going to have to only show one more here and then, yeah. So next we've got the chroma key here, but you can see even more here, is that it's not fully getting rid of the background. In fact, it's even clipping off part of my right shoulder here, so it's not fully perfect, but I never expect it to be like that. So I got the other ones here from Cole Living Space, and it just did it again. Unbelievable. I guess that's a good spot to leave it on, I guess. It really depends on what you need is for the webcam. Like, if you're going to be using, like, how frequent you're going to be using this webcam, as well as what your setup is going to be. Whether it's going to be for streaming or just for Skype calling or any sort of need that you think you're going to need for something like this, because it is currently on Amazon it was $199 USD at the moment, but I found a place in New Zealand that had it for under 300, luckily, because all the other sites had like above 300, so I was pretty lucky to find it on this one site. The shipping was okay, but I wasn't a fan of the way that the economy shipping was going on it, because I was expecting the webcam last week and it didn't arrive till today. It was even hoping for yesterday, but no, it was just said it was waiting for courier the whole day. So I don't know what was going on there. So I've got to test this out for streaming as well, see how it handles with the Twitch compression and so on. But I'll get to that. So anyway, that's it for the unboxing and the comparison here. So hopefully this clears up, like, if for anyone who didn't have a C920 or a 922 already and only had the same as something as what I had, the C525, and how much of a jump it's going to be for them, whether they want to They want to skip that jump and go straight to the BRIO rather than the 920. But from what I saw, the 920 is a good camera. I mean, it's probably still miles ahead of what the C525 is. But as I said, your money, your needs, it just depends on what's going to be available to you. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time. And now we're on the Logitech BRIO, but you can pretty much see how much more room there is compared to... Oh. Okay then. Never mind then.